What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to check out my first battles in the Love Cup with Electrode, Alomomola, and Ariados. And Ariados, my goodness, this thing's actually very, very nice. Even on safe swap in some situations, it could potentially flip it, especially versus Charizards and Talonflames. Biggest thing you need to watch out for, confusion, incinerate, stuff like that. Macargo's a pretty hard wall to it, but Ariados performs extremely well today. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know how your guys' battles are going. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle here, we have Electrode on the lead versus Slowbro. So pretty positive matchup, obviously. This is looking pretty good. They're going to go ahead and swap into Lickitung right here. So I'm going to go for the Discharge, and then I should be swapping into Ariados. Ariados has a bit better matchup right here, especially once we land lunges, but I absolutely misclick and go into Alomomola, and that's just, we're just going to have to live with it. We're going to have to live with it. So we're going to go ahead and let this first one go through. It's most likely going to be the Power Whip, which it is. This is why this matchup is not as good as the Ariados matchup, because Body Slam, once you get a lunge down, Body Slam doesn't do too much damage. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. It's just going to be another Body Slam right here, and I'm hoping to get myself shield advantage. By coming into the wrong Pokemon here, I need to get shield advantage in order to win this game. So we do get a shield. It's perfectly fine, and they're going to go ahead and farm us down. Now, I'm going to go ahead and come in with, actually no, I come in with Ariados right here, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and come in with Ariados and load up on energy. I know Body Slam's going to do a decent amount of neutral damage, so I will shield this first one. And then we do see them swap into Macargo, which now gives me an opening, so I'm going to go ahead and come in with Electrode right here. All I need to do is try my best to get to 2 discharges, one to get the shield, and the second to do as much neutral damage as I can, but they did get the debuff off there, which is unfortunate, so we're going to go ahead and go for discharge now. This does a decent amount of neutral damage. It would have done more if our attack obviously didn't drop, but we get the shield anyways, which is good, and we're going to go ahead and go for the next one. Now, it's going to be a race to the third charge move here, but I think Macargo is going to get it. So this is going to be a very, very close battle, and they do get it in time. So we have Ariados, no shields versus Macargo, Lickitung, and then their lead, I can't remember what their lead Pokemon was, but it's not looking good. So we're going to come in, we're going to go straight for Lunge. Both of these moves are resisted, but Lunge will at least lower the attack here of Macargo, and they survive, so they're going to go ahead and swap out into Slowbro. They're going to go ahead and swap out into Slowbro. Now, this is what's very cool about the Slowbros in this meta. Ariados can absolutely boom it out of the water right here with lunges. So there's one, and we're going to go ahead and try to get to this Cross Poison in time. Mind you, there's still Macargo, there's still a Lickitung. We're going to go ahead and go for the Cross Poison here. I think I have Cross Poison. Yeah, Cross Poison there. We land it, take it out. Macargo comes back in, we fast move down, and then it's Lickitung in the back, and we're going to be able to get to the Cross Poison in time. So, who is worried? Who is worried? Maybe my voice of calmingly talking to you guys about it, but Ariados, absolutely amazing Pokemon for this meta. Again, biggest thing you got to watch out for is going to be that Macargo. So, good game right there. We got Electrode now on the lead versus Clefable. So, I definitely don't like this lead matchup going all the way into shields, basically. So what I'm going to do here is throw the Discharge, and then we'll see what my opponent does. They decide to no shield, so I'm just going to go ahead and swap, and we both swap at the exact same time. So we kind of had the same feeling there. We don't want to go deep into that matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Lunge right away. This is huge versus Porygon right here, as obviously Tri-Attack now is going to do a lot less damage, and this is why Ariados on Safe Swap can be very, very deadly, because it's a good setup Pokemon while also getting shields. So we're going to go ahead and go for another Lunge right here. Even if this is shielded by the Porygon, it's fine because the Tri-Attack is going to do less and less damage. But we land it, so we take out the Porygon. That is beautiful. Now, if they come back in with Clefable right here, they are just asking for it. We're going to go ahead and go for Cross Poison right away. We're also going to see today what Ariados can do versus some of the fires that we see, fire flyers like Talonflame. But hopefully we can get to another one in time, but we cannot. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. While I could get that second shield from Clefable, I think having 2 shields for Alomomola and Electrode is going to be a bit better. So we're going to go ahead and come in from Alomomola, and it's going to be the Lickitung in the back. So having shields right here is definitely very advantageous for me. We do go ahead and swap into Electrode on the charge move here. to catch it, as I think it is going to be a power whip, and it was. So we caught it right there, which is very nice. And we're going to go ahead and go for a discharge now to do as much neutral damage as we can. This is a beautiful setup because if they shield, we have hard-hitting charge moves on Alomomola to take it out, which they do decide to shield. And if they didn't, Waterfall would be able to take it out, right? So we're looking pretty good. Just got to be careful about the potential swap back into Clefable to catch the charge move. But with 2 shields here, we're looking very, very nice. So we're just going to go ahead and throw the Hydro Pump. I don't think their switch clock is just up yet. So Hydro Pump here should do enough neutral damage, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent right there. All right, moving to the next one, we got Electrode Mirror. So I played this a bit differently in all of these matches, so you're going to see a wide variety, but we do see a Talonflame come in, and this is what's very cool about Ariados. It's very important because of the Incinerate's duration in terms of the fast move timing. You need to try to time your cross poisons as best as you can, so that you're either on CMP tie like right here, so that they don't sneak through a fast move. That's very important. So we're going to go ahead and shield the Flame Charge and go for cross poison. Now, I should be able to get to 2 more cross poisons right here, which means I'm going to flip this mid game or get both shields. So we're going to go ahead and go for another one right here. And then their next Incinerate as well is not going to be able to take us out. And this is why I said Ariados is absolutely deadly. Even against Talonflames, we get a second shield right there. Look at how that wasn't enough to take us out. We live with 1 HP in a dream. And Ariados, ladies and gentlemen, just went toe-to-toe with a boosted Talonflame in the mid-game, getting both shields and keeping shield advantage. I don't know what else you guys need to see to let you guys understand how strong Ariados is. Like, that was incredible right there. We'll have to see how the rest of this game plays out, though. So they're going to go ahead and throw foul plays right here. I am running Hyper Beam here on my Electrode because I love the boom potential here, especially if I want to get shields early. So I'm going to go ahead and shield and now go for the Hyper Beam right here. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage, and hopefully it's enough to take out the Electrode. We'll have to see. But Hyper Beam does land. Boom! And it's actually a Scrafty in the back, which is very troublesome for me. Because 1, I did not get to discharge there. 2, it's a Scrafty with Power Up Punch. And 3, my only win con here is catching a charge move on Ariados. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Alomomola. I'm not sure there was a glitch that happened there, but whatever, let's go Battle League. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Alomomola. And I don't think I have enough time in order to get to Hydro Pump here because they are boosted with energy. So this is going to be very, very close because if they land a foul play here, I think it's over. And I needed like 3 more waterfalls right there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Psychic. This is resisted, and I'm just going to try to catch the charge move right now, but I didn't get it. So that is unfortunate. So good game to my opponent. As you guys are going to see, the foul play here is going to do a lot of neutral damage and take me out. That's why I was so concerned. And then the Ariados comes in and gets taken out. But good game right there. But man, it went toe-to-toe with Talonflame. All right, so we have Magcargo now on the lead. Definitely love seeing this on the lead because I can soft win this to an extent unless they overheat me. But I'm going to go ahead and I tried to get another fast move through right there, but I didn't. But that's all right. We're going to go ahead and let this go. It is just going to be a Rock Tomb. This would have been a bit better if I threw the discharge right away. That way I do more neutral damage. But either way, I should be able to get a shield here as 2 discharges plus Volt Switch. Is going to be far too much damage for them, so I'm going to go ahead and throw another one. And this is likely going to get the shield from my opponent, which is fine. I want to keep this thing away from Ariados, as Ariados will have an incredible endgame potential as long as we take out this Magcargo. So we're going to come in with the Alomomola and waterfall this thing down. They're going to go ahead and throw Rock Tombs at us, which is fine. I'll be able to clear that debuff here when they swap out, and they do, and they swap into Clefable. So this is actually now a beautiful setup, and when you guys come into this situation versus Clefables, you want to make sure you're overcharging on energy. That way you have energy on the back end, right? You can throw a Cross Poison or Lunge versus Magcargo. You don't want to throw your Cross Poisons right away. That way you guys can see I have a lot of energy. Now, they were able to get to the charge move, which is unfortunate. I have to give up a shield. I really didn't want to give up a shield right there. But that's okay. We still have plenty of energy. We have even shields. And Magcargo is extremely low. So we're looking pretty good. If it's another Charmer, it's game over. They actually decide to bring in a Alomomola. So I should be going for Lunge right here, but I decided to go for Cross Poison just to see if I could fish the boost. And we did get the boost. So fishing successful. We see a swap now into Magcargo. And we're going to go ahead and throw the cross poison here. This is going to be resisted, but it will definitely do enough damage. And then we're going to go for lunge now. Since Alomomola can no longer clear any debuffs, we might as well throw the lunge for neutral and force that debuff on them and potentially force that shield. So now we're just going to come into the mirror fight. And this is a good game. Alomomola in the mirror fight is always tricky, but it's absolutely dominating if they have a lunge debuff on them, which plays off a lot in my battle. So good game to my opponent right there, and they do decide to surrender. All right. Moving to the next one, we got Electrode Mirror. Like I said, I played this multiple different ways. This time I'm going to stay in this matchup. And I think this one I decided to go straight for Hyper Beam right here. As I was noticing throughout my sets, as this is a mix of battles, that some people just no-shielded. They just no-shielded, but this guy shielded. I'm like, ah, that was a potential huge boom. Now, I'm going to respect the boom back. If they decide to throw it, it's fine, but they actually have foul play. So it's perfectly fine by me. I might be able to get a discharge off here, but they decide to throw right away, which is okay. We'll let this go. We'll come in with Ariados right here and load up on energy. Now, we are going to have to give up a shield, so what I'm going to look to do is overload on energy as best as I can, because there might just be a Macargo in the back, right? Electrode lead, fire types in the back, it makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and overload. That's 2 volt switches right there, and I don't want to risk third and having a little bit of lag. So we'll just throw the lunge right away. Not enough to take it out, but we do farm down now, so this is looking very good. Now, do they have Macargo? No, they have Medicham. Okay. So Medicham right here is going to take a decent amount of neutral damage from lunge, and they're going to be forced to swap out because these debuffs really start adding up, and they do. They swap into Alomomola, and like I said in the previous battle, if you have an Alomomola mirror fight, it's very tricky unless you lunge them, which is huge. And I'm going to go ahead and just overload back on energy. I think I swap out one before lunge. I should have grabbed lunge and then swapped out, but they were getting close to Psychic, and I didn't want to give up a shield here, so as you guys will see, the Psychic does absolutely nothing. We are sitting very, very comfortable right here in this matchup, and I also need to overload on energy because I need to be prepared for the Medicham that is likely going to go ahead and come back in. So I'll throw this Psychic right here before they get to another one, but I suspect Medicham's going to be coming in very, very soon. Alomomola is no longer a threat, especially if it throws its energy right here, which I imagine it will. But they decide to swap out at the last second and bring in Medicham. So we're just going to go ahead and go for the Psychic here. It does neutral. Hydro Pump obviously would do a bit more, but we're going to get a shield anyways. And then we're just going to go for the next Psychic if we can get it. I am going to go ahead and shield here on Alomomola and then actually swap into Ariados and go for the lunge. As the lunge will lower the attack, do neutral damage, and force energy from Medicham. But it does quite a bit right there, which is completely fine. The opponent's Alomomola comes in, throws the Psychic, and as you guys know, they are energy drained. So I'll just go ahead and throw my Psychic to close this game out, and that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. But this is what's great about these endgame matchups with the Alomomolas here, is if you can land a lunge, it's a completely one-sided battle for you. You control everything. Good game. All right. Alomomola on the lead, very positive lead for us. They swap out right away into Wigglytuff. We come straight into Ariados. We're again going to play this thing we're going to try our best to farm down is the essential goal here. So we're going to throw that Cross Poison right away. We get the boost as well, which is huge for this farm down. We can successfully fully farm down, and Ariados now is deadly, absolutely deadly. We're talking boosted, loaded energy, absolute assassin of neutral damage here, and we are getting shields now from the Alomomola, and we're just going to keep throwing lunges. This thing is a wrecking ball of damage, I kid you not. So look at how much damage that does. That's neutral to Alomomola. We're going to go ahead and throw Cross Poison as well. Why not? Fish for another boost right here while doing neutral damage. And they are in a predicament. We do get 2 shields as well. We're just going to go ahead and try to go for another Cross Poison, but they'll throw their energy, which is fine. So we are looking very, very good. We have our Electrode. We have our Alomomola. We have 2 shields. So we're going to bring that Electrode, and they swap back into Clefable, and we're going to come in with our Alomomola, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Even though Charm is really adding up here, the Hydro Pump should do enough neutral damage. So we're going to go ahead and shield. Even this is going to, actually it is probably going to be a Meteor Mash, yeah. Even though it's going to be resisted, that's fine. We'll just throw the Hydro Pump here and kind of close this game out, as Electrode will be able to handle Alomomola in the back. So good game to my opponent right there. But my goodness, Ariados is an absolute monster. You got to be careful with it. So good game. But a double charm right there is obviously going to be tough for the opponent to handle an Ariados coming into it. So we'll just let our own go down, and then we will farm down with fast moves, and that's going to be a good battle. Very well played. Alright, moving to this next one, we have Electrode Mirror, Shiny Flex from my opponent. And I believe in this one I decided to go straight for Discharge after building up to Hyper Beam. So yeah, this is going to be one where I'm trying different things. So if you've been watching all these different Electrode Mirror matches, it's always hit or miss. This time they decided no shield. I could have landed a Hyper Beam right there. It always happens like that. It's like Galarian Stunfisk Mirror, right? When you could have landed the Earthquake, they shield it when you you know what I mean. So we're just going to keep going for discharges here. Hopefully we can force a shield from our opponent, because we again want to come in with Ariados and farm down. But they're going to go ahead and throw their next foul play, and we will then let it go and come in with our Ariados right here and farm down. Now they decide to swap right away into Talonflame. So we're going to come in with a Alomomola right here, and I decided to no shield this, which is risky because it's obviously a Brave Bird. It's a Brave Bird, left, right, and center all day long. So that is a risky play. Very risky. Let's see if it pays off, holding shields for Ariados. They're going to go ahead and come in with Electrode. Obviously coming in, it's going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and they also have a bit of loaded energy, but they no-shielded it. It's fine by me. Now they're going to come in with Scolipede, so things are actually looking very good. Scolipede's going to be able to farm us down. But the great thing right here with Ariados is we are going to be able to shield these charge moves. X-Scissor doesn't do too much damage. We just need to get that lunge off, and we do. This is what's so deadly about Ariados. When you're in neutral matchups, is the more lunges you can throw, the deadlier you become, because these charge moves are now going to do nothing. I still got to respect the damage that Scolipede can put out. So as long as I'm shielding these early charge moves, the later ones should do less damage, because now I have 2 lunges of debuffs on my opponent, and they can no longer swap out to clear the debuff. So we are looking very, very good right here. I'm just going to go ahead and just go for one more lunge to close this game out. They do throw the Sludge Bomb right here, which as you can see doesn't do too much, so that's perfectly fine. This lunge now should do enough damage to take out the Scolipede, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Lunge really strong right here in this meta. Alright, moving to the next one, we got Electrode versus Medicham on the lead. Something I saw a lot of. And what I've learned is to just staying with Medicham. There's typically a Macargo in the back. Literally 9 out of 10 times there's going to be a Macargo. So what you want to do is try to get yourself shield advantage if you can. Just throw in these discharges right here, as you can 1, chunk the health, and 2, if you survive the Psychic, which I decided to shield right here, which we do survive the Psychic, we can get off another discharge to force that shield from our opponent, and then it's going to be a race to the next charge move. So I can get 2 shields here on the lead. That's going to be beautiful. But I decided to swap now into Ariados and go straight for Cross Poison, and they decided to swap into what I believe is Slowbro. I think that was Water Psychic typing in the top right. It is going to be Slowbro. So this is tough because it is confusion, but thankfully we have Lunge, and if this lands right here, you get, oh my goodness. Slowbros, you need to watch out for Ariados. This thing hits like a truck. Ho-ho, watch out, Slowbro. I am an absolute deadly monster, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the Cross Poison now to force that final shield. And if they decide to no-shield it, that's fine by me. They did decide to no-shield. We're still in the 1s in terms of shields. Medicham's a bit loaded on energy, and they have a Wormadam in the back. So we are going to go ahead, and I believe I come in with a Alomomola. Right here, yeah, I decided to come in with a Alomomola, and we gotta watch out for Bug Buzz. Bug Buzz actually hurts. It does a decent amount of neutral damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this one, and it is a Bug Buzz, so thankfully it wasn't Iron Head right there. But yeah, they'd throw the Bug Buzz either way. I don't think they'd risk trying to throw an Iron Head and getting no shielded. But I do get to the Hydro Pump in time. This is going to force the shield from my opponent. And remember, my Electrode is very close to a charge move as well. So I'm going to go ahead and swap into it. Actually, it's not very close. I thought it was close. But we are going to catch the charge move here, which means we soak all of that energy, which is beautiful. And they are going to go ahead and swap into Medicham now, which is even better. Because they're energy dry now, and they decided to undercharge the power-up punch, which is fine by me. And then we just waterfall down, and we are looking good now, as Bug Buzz shouldn't be enough damage to take us out. It's going to be close, but I think I can get to the Psychic in time, which we do. Obviously, with the Wormadam at like 1 HP, this is going to take it out, even though it is resisted. So good game to my opponent right there. All right. Moving to the next battle, we got Electrode versus Medicham once again. So I think in this one, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stay in on this one. We'll have to see if I decide to go for Hyper Beam. I do on one of these, but I think this one's just discharges. I found that just doing the raw neutral damage really added up early for me, and paid off a lot better. So we no-shield this one. It's going to be Ice Punch. And hopefully I can get to another discharge in time. And this is actually a beautiful setup for us now, as I will get myself shield advantage and soft lose this lead, which is fine by me. So I'm going to go ahead and now swap into Ariados, save my Electrode for potential sack swap late game. And then I will shield this Ariados right here from the Ice Punch, as they're deciding not to swap out. So I do get to the Cross Poison as well. This is going to force the shield from Medicham. They're not swapping out, which tells me they're kind of weak in the back to it, especially if they shield right there, which they do. So I'm going to go ahead and shield myself and then just overload on energy as best as I can. And we do block the Psychic right there. This Medicham was quite loaded, and we do see, I believe this is a Alomomola now. So what do we know about Alomomolas? Mirror fights are, oh, actually, no, it's a Seaking. Okay, so it's the Seaking right here. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Cross Poison. Right now, and it's very close to the charge move of Draw Run Icy Wind, so I'm going to actually swap into my Electrode here and force the energy, because that Volt Switch might have been enough to take it out. So they do throw the Icy Wind, which is fine. Again, I wanted to save Electrode as a sack swap, and I used it perfectly right there. And now Ariados can come in and farm down with Poison Sting before they do get to another charge move, which is really nice. Remember, Medicham's low, no energy, no shields. And let's see what that final Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be a Slowbro. So we have a lot of energy at our disposal right now. The Lunge is going to be coming through. So much damage, and then we will see them potentially swap right here, which I think they do. They make a great swap, good timely swap, good counting, but it's over. That is a Water Gun Slowbro right there, which is tough, as I do have a Alomomola, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into a Alomomola now and force the energy here from Slowbro. Now, this fight's still not over, but it kind of is. You know, Ariados is like one fast move away from a Cross Poison, and Lomomola's in the fight, and I just need to get to this Psychic, which I do eventually after another Psychic here from Slowbro, but Lomomola is an absolute tank, and it can take this just fine. So good game to my opponent. Really cool swap that they had right there. That was a good timing by them, but ultimately Ariados did really, really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This team was a lot of fun. I think it handles the meta pretty well. And Ariados, again on save swap, if you're forced to, can do really well in mid game. The biggest thing you gotta watch out for is going to be Macargo, that does come in. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.